This is Alisa from Alisa's Transmuting Tarot Facebook page and from Alice's Wonders Facebook page. Guys, today, or at this moment, let's say, I'm doing another video from my About Tarot series. For those of you who don't know me, so I am an intuitive tarot reader, and usually on Mondays I do intuitive collective tarot readings on my Facebook page, Alisa's Transmuting Tarot. I am also a coach, an intuitive coach really, and I'm also a natural stones or gemstones jewelry maker. I create something like this, and I also kind of teach, so to say. So I also create teaching videos. Right now I create teaching videos on two topics. One topic is like generally life, basically. You know, especially things like taking responsibility for your own life and things like that. And another topic is tarot. So I'm teaching about tarot. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm doing a course on how to do tarot, no. These videos, so this series, these episodes, are literally about tarot. So I explain what tarot is, how it works, and things like that. Basically, I'm answering the most common, the most frequently asked questions, because people usually have loads of questions about tarot, and mostly they are fear-based, which is a problem. Because, you know, guys, the worst thing in existence is fear. So what I'm doing is I'm answering to you your questions, and I hope my answers clarify some things. At the beginning, before I started doing tarot, I was also kind of scared of it. And then I realized that I was scared of it because I had like absolutely zero knowledge on it. And the knowledge that I did have, like, it was very scarce, but also it was incorrect, because it was really coming from people who were not real tarot readers, who were not actually, like, who didn't really know much about what things really are like. And so I'm hoping to clear things up, to explain to you how things work and what it's all about. And I hope these videos help you disperse your fears and understand what things are really like. Now, today, guys, I'm discussing... Oh, and by the way, guys, I just wanted to say, for those of you who watched my previous episodes, because so far I've created 3 other episodes from the series about tarot, and you know that I kind of had a break of, God, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, I think. That's just because I was not feeling great in the previous weeks, but now I'm back, and now I'm gonna try to keep up with this with the series, with these episodes. So I'm hoping to keep doing them basically on Wednesday or Thursday, basically in the middle of the week. So you can stay tuned if you're interested in this. And if you have some questions about tarot and you think that I might be answering your question, then you can definitely stay tuned and see. All right, guys. So today I'm answering the question of, why do I need tarot if my future changes all the time anyway, right? Now, the questions that I'm discussing here, as I said, these are not just like imaginary or hypothetical questions. No, these are frequently asked questions. So I have been asked this question before, more than once. And so these are, you know, like real questions from real people. So I'm hoping that they're also gonna help you, or my answer is going to help you as well. Now, the thing is that maybe before you might not even have such question, but if you did watch my previous videos about tarot, then you know. So let me just quickly recap, because previously I discussed if tarot is dangerous. I also discussed what to do if you got a negative tarot reading, and I also discussed what you need to do if you got a positive tarot reading. And so, just very quickly to kind of get you up to speed, guys, what I did mention was that there is no such thing as one like strict destiny that you're following. You might, so like your soul might have had a certain plan for itself for this lifetime before it came on earth, you know, into a body. So there is some general plan, there are some general goals and some general intentions that your soul has had, let's say. However, so it's like, yes, you are more or less like you're generally heading towards a certain goal that your soul has, but it's not like you have a very fixed, strict destiny and it must happen no matter what, or anything like this. There is always free will, and with every step that you take, with every decision that you make, with whatever you do, you always change your reality and change your life. So depending on what you do today, this is how your life is going to go tomorrow. So there is no some magical forces that are gonna, I don't know, like tarot cards or anything else that are magically gonna put you in some, I don't know, on some path or in some direction, or do the work for you. No, I mean, I wish sometimes, but no. So it's all free will, which also means that it's all our work. So this is like generally recapping the idea about how our life is constructed. And so if you know that with every step that we take, we create our reality. So with every step that we make today, let's say, we create our reality for tomorrow, then the logical question from that might be, so why do I even need tarot, right, or tarot readings, if I am creating my reality as I go on in life anyway? So it's like I'm changing my reality all the time. So let's say, and I talked about it in my previous videos. So if today I'm in a positive mood and I'm like positively, I don't know, I'm thinking positively and things like that, then I get a tarot reading which says, yes, tomorrow you're gonna have a perfect, I don't know, tomorrow and everything is gonna be great. So you're basically getting a positive reading. And if today, let's see, let me find some nicer picture. Okay, and if today, for example, you're in a negative mood, then you get a negative tarot reading and you're like, oh, tomorrow is going to be a difficult day, blah, 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 you know. So, yeah, so you might be like, so why do I even need a tarot reading if my future changes all the time anyway? So here's the answer. Now this, of course, I'm talking specifically about tarot readings because I am a tarot reader, but ultimately, let's be honest, it pretty much is the same when it comes to all other divination tools. So, you know, when it comes to energy reading and I don't know, whatever other divination tools there are, it's basically the same idea. So imagine, so I'm gonna give you a metaphor. Imagine that you are driving a car, right? You're in a car and you're going somewhere. And let's say you're driving and you're driving in a new place. It's a new location, you've never been there. And it's like somebody, let's say somebody told you how to get to your destination point, So you do know where you're heading, and you also kind of got the general idea or the general plan. Although not always, you know, for some people it might be like they have the general plan. For some people they might not even have a general plan. They might be just like blindly driving. Um, and but let's say you're like, okay, so if you have at least a general plan or a clear plan, then you're like, okay, I'm moving towards that. If you don't have any specific plan, then your goal might be like, okay, I just need to get to some place where I might get some clarity on where I should be going, I guess, you know. So either way, let's say you have some kind of goal and you're driving and driving, and then let's say you suddenly start feeling lost because it's like you're driving and driving and still there's no destination point. And you're like, well, actually, like I'm driving already for quite a long time. Like I should be already there. Why haven't I reached this place yet? Maybe I took the wrong turn. Maybe I should have taken the turn when I decided to go straight on, um, or maybe like I chose the wrong road, or maybe I'm in the wrong city, maybe or maybe I'm in the wrong country at all, different planet or something, you know, or maybe there is something wrong with me, maybe there is something wrong with my memory, or I don't know what else. Maybe I have problems with my mind, you know. So basically, let's say the longer you drive and the longer you still haven't reached your destination point, all of these fears start triggering in you different thoughts, and you're so it may be just like a small fear, but sometimes for some people it can be like a lot of fears, right? So people might get to the degree of like very strong anxiety, and they might be like, oh my god, like what should I do, what should I do? So it might get up to the point of like almost like tiny level of insanity, let's say. So, and in that moment, if you suddenly happen to find a map, whether it was in your car, or you met someone who you got a map from, or maybe you just got a navigation system in your car and you decided to switch it on. Either way, when you get a map, your life becomes so much easier because then you suddenly see yourself on the map, you see the location, you can pinpoint where you are, what you're moving towards, and whether you're on the right path or not, whether you need to turn somewhere or you need to stay on this track. Basically, you see transparently where you are and what's going on, basically. So of course, driving a car is a metaphor for our lives, right? So if let's say you have a certain goal in your life and you're moving in a certain direction, whether it's a clear goal, a clear direction, or it's like slightly vague goal and slightly vague direction, either way, let's say you have some kind of goal. And the point is that sometimes you might just feel very lost because you're like, let's say, okay, let me give you an example. For example, you want to make a career somewhere, I don't know, like as a fashion designer. And let's say you started taking some steps towards this. You went to some courses and you learned how to be a fashion designer. You started practicing and doing, I don't know, some designing stuff. You, what else did you start doing? Let's say you also got a job in the designing, right? So you've done already lots of things, and yet let's say you still, for example, don't see much progress because, for example, When it comes to your job, you don't feel like super appreciated. When it comes to the results of your work, they still don't seem like the best result, etc., etc. And you might, start questioning things. You might be like, okay, maybe I chose the wrong path. Maybe I shouldn't be a fashion designer. Maybe I should be a plumber, or I don't know, an architect, or a photographer, or something else. You might also be like, okay, maybe I chose the right path, but I'm doing something wrong because, like, maybe I need to change my approach, my strategy, because somehow I still do not get the results that I want. You might also be like, okay, maybe I chose the right path, for example, and I'm doing everything correctly. However, for example, I chose the wrong place or location to start this thing at. Like maybe I should change the company that I work at, or maybe I should have taken different types of courses or something like this. And so all of these questions appear in our mind when we feel like we're not getting the results that we want. And this is exactly where tarot might, if you choose to, come into play in your life. So tarot is simply a tool. This is exactly what I keep repeating. It's just a tool. And this tool is like a navigation system. Like a navigation system, like a map. Well, I associate it with a navigation system because I feel like it's pretty advanced. And so yes, guys. So tarot helps you see where you, so let's say this is a map. It helps you see where you are on the map, where you're moving towards, right? What speed you're moving towards it with or at. And it also shows you whether you're going to reach your destination this way or not. And if not, then it shows you what you need to do, where you need to turn, what other direction you need to take in order to get to your destination point. So this is the idea. And this is why you might still need a tarot reading, even though, yes, your actions constantly change your reality. It's true. Now, but usually, yes, our actions do change our reality, but I would say that it rarely happens that our reality changes completely and drastically every single day. So, it's more like usually, think about your behavior. Would you say that every single day you're a completely different person who behaves in a completely different way? Rather not. Yes, completely drastic, sudden changes do happen, like from one day to another. Yes, it happens, but it doesn't happen every day, right? It happens like from time to time, and usually like some major events trigger such situations. So, for example, I don't know. Well, something really drastic, like let's say you get some epiphany. And so yesterday you thought, oh, I need to live my life in this way. And then all of a sudden you get an epiphany and you're like, oh my God, how could I be thinking this way? I should live my life in a completely different way, right? So this is one example. Of course, we have some more drastic situations like, if some tragic events happen or some difficult situations happen, they also often trigger something in us, and then we make some major shifts. Things like breakups, for example, changes a lot, right? Or sometimes when we really, really want something, but we do not achieve this, like some kind of perceived failures can also trigger some major shift. So basically like blessings in disguise, you could say. So yeah, so these things can change our behavior and therefore our future drastically. But generally speaking, let's say we generally have the tendency to to have more or less similar behavior. That's why if you get a tarot reading, it's still gonna be valid, not just, let's say, for today, but for a certain period of, your life. So if you get a reading, let's say, for example, today, and it shows you more or less where you're heading and what you need to potentially change if you want to reach your goals, then unless you make some major changes in your behavior, in your emotions, then it's still going to be valid. And when you do make some major changes, this is when you can go and once again have another reading, because then you can get kind of like an update again from your navigation system. Now, the last thing that I wanted to tell you guys about cards, or actually, let me look at my plan. Oh, yes, guys, one more thing. I also wanted to say that when it comes to tarot readings, if they are done by what I call a good tarot reader, so a person who is a positive thinker, a person who does not have a goal of scaring you to death with some magical negative forces of tarot cards or whatever, imaginary ones, of course. But if this person is really, if this person's goal is really to help you, to uplift you, to encourage you, then a tarot reading can also be very helpful for you in terms of encouragement, or how else can we call it? Inspiration. This is kind of my favorite energy, guys, because I'm a naturally inspiring person. And so, and I love this energy of inspiration. It's like when I'm inspiring others, I'm automatically inspiring myself. And I'm just so enjoying this process. I'm like, yes, it's like definite, just definite love, love of mine. And, encouragement or inspiration, it's not about lying to people or pretending that their life is better than it really is. No, it's the ability to see deep or deeply, to see behind the surface. Because very often, like I said, blessings in disguise. So very often on the surface, we see something that looks terrifying. Like, let's say you have, I don't know, something breaks down in your flat, and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna die now. What should I do? What should I do? So on the surface, it might look like a really bad situation, right? But a good tarot reader will look deeper and will see what is behind that tragic situation. And then, the blessing there could be, for example, that maybe you needed to renovate something in your flat for a long time, and now you finally have the opportunity to do so. And once you change that, I don't know, this changes the atmosphere and the energy in your whole flat, and your life is gonna become so much better, and you're gonna become so much happier. See? Uplifting, excitement, encouragement, inspiration, just like, yeah, all in one. All right, guys. So the last thing that I wanted to mention about cards, and actually, you can even see on this box, right, for tarot, but also this is the first major arcana card here. This is the card which represents the magician. And why did I want to show you this one? I just wanted to remind you once again, guys, that ultimately what you need to understand is, just as I keep repeating, tarot cards is just a tool. Tarot cards are not a tool that is going to solve your problems. Tarot cards is just a tool, like a navigation system, that is going to show you where you are, where you're heading, and how to get to your goals as fast as possible and in the best way possible for you and for the humanity. But tarot cards are not going to come to you and be like, okay, you sit at home, you do nothing, and I'm just magically gonna wave my hands at you and things are just gonna magically happen. Nothing like that. Honestly, actually, no divination tool is gonna do anything like this for you. Neither tarot, nor oracle cards, nor anything else. The only magical tool that can magically shift your life to the most positive outcome, guys, is your own energy. Yes, what can I say, guys? There are no stronger creatures in the whole entire universe than us. So, yeah. So, whether you like it or not, guys, this is it. And in other words, you know, you're the magician. You're in control of your destiny, of your life. You're the person who is creating everything, and you're the person who has all the tools necessary for creating anything and everything that you want in your life. So, if you want, so basically, if you come to a tarot reading and you expect that somebody is going to give you a positive reading, let's say, and you're just gonna be like, oh, okay, that's great. This might not be the case. You need to look at tarot readings as exactly like a navigation system or as a tool that is going to give you specific instructions on what to do in order for you to succeed in your life. Very often, what happens, for example, when I do personal intuitive tarot readings for people, I literally ask them to take a pen and a paper, and I literally sometimes like dictate them what they need to do, because during the reading I can see what steps they need to take, and so I am asking them to write them down, because very often people come to a reading, they listen, they feel very relaxed and then after the reading they cannot remember basically 90% of what I've said. So in order to avoid this, I ask people to note everything down. So, you know, this is a very, very good idea. So basically what you need to understand is that you need to be proactive. You need to be, you need to understand that it is you. Everything is in your power. Everything is in your hands. You are the major person during a tarot reading, and basically you're the major person in your own life. So if you want to achieve, to get any kind of result, you just need to use some tools, for example, tarot. But it would be you who would need to be taking steps in your life to get to your goal, to get to your destination. So this is what I wanted to tell you. And actually, by the way, so this is the reason, I mean, if you watched my collective intuitive tarot readings, which I make usually on Mondays, then you know, because I keep repeating this, guys, you know that I also coach people specifically for that reason, because for some people, they come to a tarot reading, they just, let's say they just have a question, and so I get them the knowledge and they're like, oh, okay, this is fine. And they can already, you know, with the answer that they got from me, they can already move forward with their lives. And introduce some changes potentially, for example, in their lives. But for some people, it's very difficult for them to motivate themselves to do so. And so for some people, it's not even much about getting the specific answer to a specific question during a tarot reading. It's more for them, for example, to get a confirmation that yes, this is the answer to their question, and then they need help with implementing some potential changes in their lives. And this is where coaching comes in. So this is why for some people, they need coaching, because they're like, yeah, for example, I know that I should, I don't know, change my lifestyle, but I cannot do it on my own. I need somebody to help me. And so this is why you might also need help of a coach. So this is it, guys. I hope I answered this question of why you might need a tarot if your life, if your future changes all the time anyway. So do let me know in the comments, of course, if it was clear enough for you, if you understood everything. I hope it was. Remember that if you're interested in an intuitive personal tarot reading with me, then you can contact me via Alisa's Transmuting Tarot Facebook page. And if you're interested in an intuitive coaching session or sessions with me, you can also contact me. You can also contact me via Alisa's Transmuting Tarot Facebook page. And if you're interested in such magical gemstone bracelets, I say magical because I create them specifically for each specific person, for each specific person's energy individually. And then I load these beautiful gemstone bracelets with positive energy again for this specific person's energy. So they're always unique, individual, and very personalized. So if you're interested in these, then you can check out and contact me via my Facebook page titled Alice's Wonders. You will find everything, all the links in the description below this video, so feel free to contact me. Thank you very much, guys. And I just wanted to say, this week I finally, just like I predicted in my previous tarot readings, I feel like this week finally started some kind of breakthrough in terms of energy. So I'm finally feeling better. And I noticed that other people are finally feeling better too. As you remember, on Monday, the 12th of April 2021, we had the new moon. And it turned out that it was the new moon in Aries. And Aries usually has a lot of energy, right? So probably this is the reason. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm definitely finally feeling better. So I'm kind of getting back into shape. And I noticed that other people also have like lots of positive news and lots of breakthroughs. And yesterday I learned that one of my favorite tarot readers has officially and publicly announced the fact that she's pregnant. So I was like, oh my God, some amazing new beginnings. So yeah, the energy is like generally very exciting and very inspiring and very great. So I'm back. I'm gonna try to keep up with my regular About Tarot episodes. I'm planning to do them every Wednesday, and I'm gonna become once again a little bit more active in terms of my posts. So stay tuned. You can watch my videos, you can read my posts. Feel free to do so. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day, have a great week, and see you soon. Bye, guys.